Guys, what's up? Daniel here from Dark Gadgets. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Phoenix speaker from the folks over at Beacon Audio. Now, the speaker comes with pairing instructions as well as a really nice auxiliary cable that has a nice flat cable and two-tone design, which just really shows how much the company actually cares about good design. And it's nice that it actually matches the speaker that we'll get to in a second. The aux cable can be used to connect it to devices that don't have Bluetooth, like an iPod Shuffle or any other MP3. Or if you just don't want to pair it through Bluetooth and get more battery out of this Bluetooth speaker. You also get a really nice carrying case, which is good so that when you're carrying the device, maybe in a backpack or something, it doesn't get scratched, damaged, or if you drop it, it'll protect it from that as well. Now taking a look at the speaker itself, it is designed beautifully. Both of the sides have grills for the stereo speakers that are hidden inside. On the back, we have a 1/8 inch audio in and mini USB for charging. Up top are the play and pause, skip and previous, and volume up and volume down buttons. Some of the buttons require long presses like volume up and track skipping to differentiate between what option you want. And all of this is surrounded by a red or blue LED depending on what mode you are on. The buttons on the speaker made it extremely easy to control the music when you aren't close to your device, but it's more practical just to do it on your device. A quick thing I want to mention is that the buttons do attract a lot of smudges. And I found myself constantly cleaning them off, although I just pretty much ended up using my phone most of the time. At the bottom we have a 1/4 inch riser, which gives the speaker a really nice look, and it just makes it look that much more awesome. It's also a good way to isolate the sound from the surface it's on. The main selling point of the Phoenix speaker is of course how good the music sounds. Most small speakers will go as loud as the Beacon, but I've never heard anything get as loud and not distort the sound. Now this is very important since most people take their smartphone or MP3 and turn the volume all the way up on speaker just to get the music to reach a little farther in the room or so a group of friends can hear it on a table, and the audio just gets horribly broken up. The speaker gives off some great balance between quality and volume for its size. Now speakers or the stereo speakers being separated on both sides means that you can hear the music as if it was coming from two separate speakers, but this just really helps with overall clarity of the sound. There are different options like the Jambox, which is pretty much in the same range but do cost a lot more. And then we have something like the X Mini capsule speaker, which is a lot less and much more portable, but those only go a bit higher than the sound of the smartphone. Instead of this speaker that actually fills a whole room without any problem and just with great amount of clarity. On a low note, the speaker is said to have a range of approximately 35 feet, but when I tested it out, I got nowhere near that. The best distance to have it at was 7 to 10 feet from the device. That is unless you have an extremely long auxiliary cable and don't need to use Bluetooth. But other than that, past 10 feet, the audio would just start getting really choppy, and it really ranged from when it would cut off, depending if there was a wall in between, of course, depending on things. But it was 15, 20 feet, it would just cut off. But yeah, after 10 feet, it just starts getting really choppy. And the best distance to just have it at is 6 feet, or at least that was my best distance, since it would give the sound some time to bounce around the room that you're in and give you the best listening experience. Last but not least, we have the battery life, in which the Phoenix really redeems itself. The poor range that we saw before really makes up for it in the battery, which charges in 4.5 hours and lasts over a week through auxiliary and over 2, almost 3 days through Bluetooth. With that said, it's really good because if you're, let's say, on a road trip, it's going to last you for the whole road trip or until you get to hotels, and you won't have to worry about it. It just becomes one of those devices that you use for a couple of hours, and you use again for a couple of hours, and you use again for a couple of hours, and you keep doing that week, and then the week after that, until then you actually have to charge it. But as long as you charge it once in a while, you're pretty much never going to have to get to that moment where you're like, oh no, I forgot to charge it. Now I can't listen to music anymore. Overall, Beacon Audio's first entry into the market is a great way to present itself. It's pretty much the best Bluetooth speaker for $99 that I've used so far. It just looks great and sounds amazingly well. And that's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Volume up. Skip. Then we can go volume down again. Let's do a quick test. So right here on my iPhone, we're gonna choose iPhone. We're gonna start. Okay, let's put them here. So that's the loudest on the iPhone. Now let's switch to the Beacon Phoenix. Now let's go to the loudest on this.